a complete team win today. You know, when your starter goes 4 innings, and you know you got to use a lot of bullpen, and there's a couple guys not available out of the bullpen tonight. Certainly got some contributions. Cook was huge. Abad was great. But across the board too with position players, and that's, you know, a lot of times that's the way we have to win games like that. You need an entire roster.
What's Norris' status?
Contusion, X-ray, no break. Yeah.
We didn't ask you about Coco before the game, but just a scheduled day off for him.
Yeah, I mean, available to come off the bench, but I'm trying to give him, you know, as much time as I can. There's certain games that I'd like to rest him a whole game, but he always says he's ready to go, and came up huge for us. I mean, there's been so many times over the last couple of years that he comes up in those situations, and we feel great about it. And he's come through so many times that, to an extent, you almost expect it, which is unrealistic, but always feels good when he's at the plate and the game on the line.
You sort of answered my question right there, but just what did you think of that at bat of his in the 8th inning, considering that you guys had left some runners on base before? It was a little bit of a rough go leading up to that.
Right, and 2 strikes, you know, guy throwing, you know, mid-90s with a good breaking ball. You know, he strikes Punto out with a 3-2 breaking ball, which is a pretty gutsy pitch to throw. So when you get to 2 strikes, you're just battling, and you could see his approach. He wasn't trying to pull the ball. He was just trying to let it travel and get a good look at it, and got a good piece of it going the other way. It was just a great piece of hitting.
Did you feel that Gentry's catch was kind of a turning point in the game?
Well, it ends up being a whole different inning if he doesn't make that catch. And, you know, now the momentum kind of shifts back into your dugout. But, yeah, it could have been a completely different game if he doesn't make that catch. So, you know, you kind of gets lost where the game goes. But, you know, when you're looking the entire game, it was a huge play.
Bob, what's the impact on a club when you play a lot of guys, a lot of different guys contribute, everybody shows up knowing they may be needed?
Right. Well, they know. I mean, and they know that just because you don't start a game doesn't mean you might be the biggest impact player in the game. And they know we're going to match up here for the most part, and then it keeps everybody fresh, keeps everybody ready, and it keeps everybody involved, which leads to, for most times, you know, good team chemistry.
This was your first look at Mills. What do you think?
You know what? I thought he threw the ball reasonably well. He got off to a heck of a start, striking out the side in the first inning. Just threw a lot of pitches. You know, we could have gotten him out of a jam and didn't. You know, so he ends up throwing a lot of pitches, and I wasn't going to let him, you know, throw more than 90 pitches or so after 4 innings. But the stuff looked reasonably good. You know, he can elevate his fastball. Got a little cutter. Looked like he had a good change and a good curveball. So, you know, and all in all, the stuff looked pretty good. He just, you know, couldn't get deeper into the game today.
Bob, you're leading the majors. You have the best record. You've scored the most runs. You have the lowest ERA. Run differential's insane. How good are you?
We just play. At this point in time, you know, we have a good record, but we don't take anything for granted. We just play. So, you know, over the course of the season, things are going to swing back and forth. You're going to have times where you play well and times that you don't. To this point in time in the season, we've played well, but we know that has to continue, and we really don't look further than the next game.